Hi everybody, ready for a story? I thought today we'd do Disney's My Very First Winnie the Pooh More Growing Up Stories, because you guys know I love Disney. And this story is called Be Patient, Pooh. Now the card down here says, come to Pooh's birthday party. And especially with everything going on right now, I know it's so hard to be patient to be coming back to school, or I know Sarah had a birthday a couple days ago, so we always have to be patient for things we want. All right, let's see what happens. One morning, Winnie the Pooh woke up thinking about cake and presents and balloons. It's not every day that a bear wakes up thinking of cake and presents and balloons, but today was Pooh's birthday, and his friends were giving him a party. A birthday party for me, thought Pooh excitedly. I can't wait. He put on his slippers and shuffled over to his clock. Is it time for my birthday party yet? He asked. Pooh's clock didn't say a thing. The little hand pointed quietly at the 8, and the big hand pointed at the 12. Breakfast time, thought Pooh. That's always a good time. He set out 3 pots of honey. By the time I finish these, it'll almost be time for my party, he said hopefully. Pooh licked and licked, but when he licked the last drop of honey from the bottom of his pot, it was still not time for his party. More waiting to do. Pooh did his stoutness exercises, like our brain breaks. Then he did his stoutness exercises again. But still, it was not time for his party. I'd better go to Rabbit's house to see how the party is coming along, decided Pooh. He hurried up the path. Everything's just fine, said Rabbit, standing at the door and blocking Pooh's view. The party will be ready at supper time. Can I see my cake? Asked Pooh. He tried to look around Rabbit to find it. Not yet, said Rabbit. Supper time. Well, he just ate breakfast, so he's got a little while before the party. Pooh sighed. The day was not anywhere near supper time yet, and the morning had already gone on longer than any other morning he could remember. He sat down on his favorite rock near the stream. He watched the bubbly water racing past. The water must be rushing to a birthday party, said Pooh. Not really, but it's a good thought. Maybe having a little company will help pass the time, thought Pooh. He knocked at Piglet's door, and he heard the sound of paper rustling. Are you wrapping my present, Piglet? He asked. Don't come in yet, cried Piglet. He finished tying a pink ribbon around Pooh's present and tucked it in the closet. Then he called out, You can come in now. I think we have a guess what his present might be. Can I see my present, Piglet? What do you think we'll do at the party, Piglet? Do you think Rabbit will put colorful roses on my cake? How much longer do you think it'll be, Piglet? Asked Pooh in a big jumble. He settled in Piglet's comfy chair. It is nice to have company to talk to about these things, said Pooh. It helps pass the time in a friendly way, doesn't it? Looks like Piglet's cleaning up after himself. Always a good idea. Piglet had opened his mouth and was trying to decide which question to answer first when Tigger and Roo knocked at the door. Lunchtime, cried Tigger as he and Roo bounced in. Piglet checked his clock. The big hand and the little hand were both pointing at the 12. Lunchtime, said Pooh thoughtfully. That's a lot closer to supper time than breakfast time is, isn't it? It's right now, said Tigger, who was quite hungry and had no idea which things were closer to what other things. Lunchtime is one of my favorite times of day, said Pooh. He helped Piglet and Tigger and Roo set the table. As he was licking his last pot of honey clean, he sighed happily. This is almost like a party right now. It is, because he's got his friends. Uh-oh, the pages are sticking together. Ah, there we go. Oh no, said Tigger. A party has streamers and noisemakers and fancy hats and ice cream, and Pooh thought about streamers and noisemakers and fancy hats and ice cream. With plenty of honey. And cake and presents and balloons. Is it almost time for the party? He asked. Oh, dear, I hope not, said Piglet. I promised to help Rabbit decorate. Me too, said Tigger. Me too, said Roo. More rhyming words. Piglet and Tigger and Roo hurried off to Rabbit's house. Pooh decided to wash Piglet's lunch dishes. By the time I finish these, it will be time for my party, he thought. But when he had dried the last drop of water from the last dish, it was still not time for his party. Waiting is hard, said Pooh. Maybe I should ask Christopher Robin if he knows something about it. Why does it take so long for a party to come? Asked Pooh at Christopher Robin's door. It just seems long, Pooh, said Christopher Robin. When you have to wait, the best thing to do is something you really like. What do bears like to do? Asked Pooh, hoping Christopher Robin could remind him. As he says in the books and the movies, he is a bear of very little brain. Well, I'm reading this great story about a pirate bear who's looking for buried treasure, said Christopher Robin. Would you like me to read it to you? Ooh. And look, who's on the book? Oh, would you? Asked Pooh, said Pooh happily. They snuggled together under a shady tree, and Christopher Robin read and read. Pooh forgot all about cake and presents and balloons. He closed his eyes and saw tall ships, rolling waves, and buried treasure. They were just getting to X marks the spot when Christopher Robin thought he'd better check his watch. The little hand pointed at the 5, and the big hand pointed at the 12. Supper time, said Christopher Robin. You mean it's time for my party already? Cried Pooh. Christopher Robin took Pooh's present from its hiding place and started off for Rabbit's house. Come on, Pooh, he called. Cake and presents and balloon. It's time, it's time, it's time, sang Pooh as they walked along together. Pooh was the first one to reach the door. Rabbit swung it open and shouted, Happy birthday! Inside, Pooh saw his beautiful birthday cake with pink roses and honey pots all wrapped in crinkly paper and lots of colorful balloons and streamers, and all his friends in Fancy House shouting, Happy birthday, Pooh! Oh, cried Pooh, party time is my favorite time ever. Then Pooh hugged his good friends, Piglet and Christopher Robin, and thanks to you, he whispered, waiting was a grand time too. So, even though we're not able to see each other for a little bit, doesn't mean you can't wait. Now remember, I'm going to be calling to check in, so be patient, and I'll see you later, or talk to you later. Bye.